What's up, everybody? Tonight episode, we're going to kick it off with a special guest when we come right back. What's up, everybody? Tonight episode, we're going to kick it off with a special guest. Welcome to another episode of Ring Walk Boxing Podcast. I am Bean, and today we're going to jump right into this boxing talk. And we got a special guest here today, uh, Stacy Mayweather of the Mayweather family. And we're going to talk some different topics today. Tank Davis versus Jake Paul. We're going to also talk about the upcoming fight next weekend with Bud Crawford versus Canelo, and touch on some other upcoming things in the sport, in the world of boxing. Hey, you still there? Okay, yo. We lost our guest, but hopefully he'll be popping back up here in a second. Meanwhile, we'll just talk a couple things on the surface of boxing. Um, so I saw an interview with Jose Benavidez with Mill City Boxing. That's the source, y'all. So Jose said Anthony Yardy will be a tough test for David Benavidez. He said David Benavidez needs to make it a solid performance and a solid win. He says the training and camp is going very good for David Benavidez. And he said David Benavidez has a mindset and mentality on a different trajectory at the present time. He's on a different level. Jose Benavidez, the dad of David Benavidez, said they got to keep proving themselves. You know, so they're willing to fight anybody. They basically saying they want all the smoke. You know, whoever step up, whoever say they about it, that's what David Benavidez want. It don't matter. You know, for the longest he had been wanting that fight with Canelo Alvarez, and we're gonna be talking more Canelo Alvarez on this segment as well. Now, Jose Benavidez also said in the interview, he said Canelo did not want the Boo Boo fight, but David Benavidez went ahead and fought Boo Boo. He made that statement in the interview. Jose said that Bivol and Beterbiev are the beast at the 175-pound division, and that's the two guys that they're aiming for. He's saying, you know, he's not shying away from nobody. His son and David Benavidez wants all the smoke. Okay, you back, bro?
Apologies, I don't know what happened. They kicked me out and had me go through some couple things.
Oh, it's all good, bro. It happens, man. You know, it happens, man. So welcome to Ring Walk Boxing Podcast. Like I said before, y'all, this is Stacy Mayweather of the Mayweather family. So I was chopping it up with my cousin that I call my big bro. And we politicking on boxing and stuff like that. So you were raised in the same household as Floyd Mayweather?
Yeah. We call it the Mayweather house. It's on Adams Street. My grandmother got in that house 1974. So before I was even here.
Can you still hear me?
Yep, I still hear you. You hear me? You got me?
Okay. So yeah, okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me? I don't know what's going on. What's on now? I can hear you. I hear you fine. Yeah, I can hear you just fine.
Okay. All right. Now I can hear you probably now. I'm using a different earpiece. Okay. All right, man. So you were raised in the same household as Floyd?
Yeah, everybody, all of them came up in that house. It was on Adams Street. Crazy thing is, recently that house was burnt down. I don't know, vandalism or something's going on with them, but yeah.
Okay. Was that in Grand Rapids?
Yes, Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Grand Rapids, Michigan. Okay. Okay. So yeah, shout outs to Grand Rapids, y'all. We a little south of y'all in Cincinnati, Ohio. Got family in Detroit and stuff like that. So yeah,
Oh
we
yeah, my
know a little
boy,
bit about
Gerald Tucker,
Gerald Tucker. I don't know him.
out of Cincinnati. He had, matter of fact, before he did a couple of exhibitions, he was the short guy who was holding the pass for him for a second. And then
Oh, okay.
he had came back under Broner one time. He had fought a
Hmm.
fight after losing a lot of weight and stuff like that. And I think he trained Clarissa Shields for a fight or two too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, be out of Cincinnati. What's the name out of Cincinnati too? Ben from Fight High. Yeah, a lot of them boxing. Y'all got a lot of boxing outlets out there in Ohio.
Yeah, yes. I'm starting from way back in my granddad's time. Ezra Charles, and then Aaron Pryor, Aaron Pryor Senior, and then his
Wait.
son Stephon Pryor.
Oh yeah.
He boxed for a minute too. So I keep in contact with Stephon Pryor. When he does events locally, I try to make local events here in the city.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
whatever I can. I'm hoping to reach out to Adrian Broner one day because he's real close with one of my cousins, a couple of my cousins. So I would
Yeah,
like to get
Adrian.
him on here.
And he pretty cool, man. He pretty cool. I mean, people got their image of him. I know him personally. He a cool dude.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people say, man. He real cool, down to earth, and just willing to help people,
Yeah,
stuff
yeah,
like
he is a
that.
good dude. He a good dude.
Yeah. So what you feel, man, about the well, we'll talk about Tank versus Jake Paul first.
Um,
I'm just wondering, like, your take on it, man. Like,
I mean, in his defense, now I know as fans, everybody all this wrong for boxing, this, that, and the other, disgrace. But in his defense, he's he's openly told y'all that he trying to get in this and get out, and he trying to get what he can get out of it. He said clearly, some people fathers made them box. They wanted to box. He said, I never wanted to box. I wanted money. He wanted to get out of this situation. So with that being said, I ain't mad at him, but um, on the other end of it is just, do I think he dodged what's his name? No, I don't think he dodged him. I think that
talk about
Jake,
Shakur.
the rematch.
Oh yeah, Lamar Roach
Now
Jr.
this,
Yeah.
now the Shakur is a fight that if I had Tank style and I was Tank, that's not a fight I would want. That's not a fight. He would beat Tank, and it would be fairly easy.
Mm, okay. Okay.
It's too slippery for him. I mean, Tank don't throw enough punches. He's not busy enough that you can't play chess with fighters like Shakur Stevenson. You can't play them fight. You can't play chess. But as in the Jake Paul, it's just, to me, I don't see the marketability in it.
Hmm.
If it come on TV, just like you, we're gonna watch anything to do with fighting, but it's not something that I look forward to. I always think of exhibition as more of um, legends and retired. I don't think of active fighters and exhibitions. And as in the actual fight, what could happen? Crazy as it sounds, like if they if it's not scripted, I'm like he can't hurt him. But and this, I can be real on this show. This is what makes me believe it's scripted. It's a known fact that Tank is petrified of big people. I don't think it got nothing to do with skills. So it's just confusing to me why everybody else got a weight drain, but you're just willing to have an all-out exhibition, even without it. That just don't add up to me. Do you get what I'm saying? It
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
it don't really add up that you take weight so serious in health, and then sign up to fight this fight. It just leads me to say, oh, so this is kind of going to be scripted, I would think. And I hate to be on some conspiracy, but I can't see him, a person that don't want you to gain 10 pounds to fight him and come down to fight him, actually fighting somebody almost 200 pounds. I just don't see that. Even if he can't box, because Rolly was the best skilled boxer. He the luckiest boxer.
Sure.
Rolly is the luckiest fighter in boxing history. He just, I love Rolly, but he just keep getting great opportunities, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, really do. Yeah.
Great opportunities. He just keep finding himself in them right spots at the right time.
Yeah, man, for sure. Okay, so since we speaking on the exhibition, and I'm happy you made that point, man. So I want to touch on it a little bit myself, see what you think about it. But yeah, I mean, it's like Mike Tyson, he's a legend. You know, Floyd Mayweather is a legend. You know what I'm saying? So that's just names that even casual people hear those names who don't even watch boxing that often. Even my mother knew who Floyd Mayweather was, and she don't watch boxing a whole lot. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you just certain name ring bells very heavy in the sport of boxing.
Pay-per-view, both the two pay-per-view kings.
Yep, pay-per-view kings, man. And I don't see okay. It's one thing if you're an active boxer, you're a unified or a undisputed guy with all these belts, and you're not wanting to fight a mandatory or whatever, and then you go ahead and fight somebody who was considered to be an exhibition type fighter.
Right.
Then it's different because now you're holding up the division and the sport of boxing or whatever to do some extra or whatever. But if you're a retired fighter and you ain't fighting no more, I don't see no reason, no problem with it. I'm saying like get that bag, you know what I mean? It's entertainment, you know what I mean?
I mean, for me, Tyson is in his 50s and Floyd knocking on the door.
Right.
And people that don't see, a lot of people so casual, not even casual. They really just got into this stuff now. It's kind of like the Papoose and Clarissa Shields stuff. They really didn't know nothing about Clarissa Shields as a fighter, but they got so much opinions of a fight now. I'm like, y'all didn't even know nothing about her boxing. So to me, with the Floyd and Tyson thing, I think it's people that don't know no better. Or it's no different than Tank. No, that's completely different. I mean, this guy, Floyd will be 49 years old when they fight. Tyson will be, what, 59? So it's like, I don't see no issue with it. And people got to put in perspective, when you that global, like Tyson and he was, and Floyd, we don't know where it's going to get hosted at. We don't know who putting up this money. It's one of those things that's as simple as when Floyd was doing little exhibitions over there in Dubai. Nobody never knew that these people might have said, well, I got the money and I actually want to actually see him with my own eyes and I want to do the show. It's just an entertainment thing. That's just like when they talk about the Bud and Boots fight. I try to tell somebody, I'm like, no, that's a great fight. That ain't really an event. And it's like, what you mean? I'm like, this is not going, have you ever been to a fight with Floyd or something? Vegas ain't finna transform when they fight. The fight fans, this is great for the fight fans. But Floyd or Tyson, no matter what the performance, being in that atmosphere is just an event. It's like you going to a show. You got to think, Floyd didn't even have a lot of knockouts with his biggest fights. The whole event and the just being there, being part of that history. So when I talk about Tank, it's not a bad thing because I like Tank too as a person, but I don't feel that he's done enough in boxing to even be doing an exhibition period. And they said, well, what about if it was Canelo? Canelo got 70 fights. Canelo got 70 fights, and we all know it's at the 20-something years, eventually he going to walk away. That's different. And I would think that's what Canelo would have probably did is fought his fights, get his money, and then at the very end, he said, well, I'll fight if you got 100 million, you know? But like you said, Floyd, not only is he retired, Floyd has been retired for a nice amount of time.
Absolutely.
You know, so now I'm going to tell you the funny part. How do you think I think it'll go? Tyson needs so bad, he'll never be able to touch Floyd. Yeah, he had
Yeah.
knee braces on last fight, but like I told somebody, they were like, I don't think people are gonna be excited about it. I said, that's what y'all don't understand. Like you said, they don't need boxing fans to break records. You know what I'm saying? Like Tyson got, uh, to me, way more loyal fans than Floyd because of all the stuff he's been through and they stuck with him. You get what I'm saying? We
Right,
feel
right, right.
we Floyd is more secret. You know, we only know the little bit it out. Floyd don't really, we don't know none of Floyd personal things, but Tyson kind of, his story. You know, he spoke of his drugs, he spoke of his downfalls. We watched Don King rape him out his money. You know, he went to prison. We feel we know him. You know, so
Right, right.
his and somebody argued with me because I'm a Mayweather. I'm not biased. I'm like, nah, Floyd has accomplished more than Tyson, but his fan base ain't bigger than Tyson's. No,
Right, right,
Tyson.
right, right.
Tyson fan base is huge, man. It's huge, and you know you feel you know
Absolutely.
him. You gotta think
Yeah.
he an athlete. He can smoke all the weed, man. And we don't care. It's Tyson. You can do what you want, man.
Right, right, right,
And
right.
and you know he's gonna be on shrooms because he said he want to fight all this fight on shrooms. I mean, I'm happy, man. They're getting the money, but I'm
Yeah.
happier for Mike Tyson, man. For him on his back end, and he found that good woman, and things is just good for him. You know what I'm saying? And he don't got these sharks and everybody in control of his money and going through that stuff. He just appears to be happy, and that's a good thing. Because the Tyson we knew, was not a happy guy.
Yeah, he wasn't happy, right?
He seems genuinely happy. His kids, and he just been through so much. You know, he lost his daughter. Like he been through a lot of stuff. So it's great for him. But I don't think Tyson likes Floyd really. So it's gonna be that's the interesting part of the fight. I'm like, because I know he don't really like Floyd. I mean, everybody kind of know. You know, no different than the Roy stuff. Oh man, it's because that's not a reason to dislike somebody. Me saying that I feel I'm the best is not a reason to dislike somebody.
Right.
It's a hidden agenda. But yeah, I know we don't got all this time, but yeah,
I don't know,
I know.
man. You know.
But then this one question I want to ask you:
Mhm.
who is this guy Boots fighting? Who?
Right. Okay. So yeah, Lima, man. I've only seen a very little bit of him, and that's the problem. Like you said, people, if people have to ask who is this guy you fighting, and then people is putting your name alongside of Bud Crawford and people at that level, and then you fighting somebody that people look at it like you taking a step down,
And
and
you a
then
sparring
some.
partner.
Yeah.
And you a sparring partner. And you a sparring partner. So
Right. Yeah, man.
you a
So
sparring partner. So this is my thing when I break down logistics. They say, well, hey fam, can you go in there please real quick? Because I'm on this podcast with them. Yeah. Yeah. Um. Mm-hmm. Ring Walk podcast. Yep. My thing with Boots is this. Now you calling out these fighters, that fighters, and I like Boots. I don't know him personally, but I do like him, young fighter. But to me, to call out the names you was calling out, and you seen greats, you seen people that are supposed to be greats. Greats come up and fight great, a good fighter. They don't. You can't keep having soft touches, especially
right,
if you saying, "Well, I went up in weight, so I can just get what you call it? What some fights called
like a tune up or warm
a
up.
tune-up fight." My thing is, why you need a tune-up fight for a person that left the same weight? Two. Second, why you need a tune-up fight, but you can go to a training camp? That and some people make it a race car. I don't believe in um I don't play race cars when it comes to fighting. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure, for
I
sure.
just feel that on this specific situation and the fact that you called him out and stuff like that, and you American. Let's not talk about the color. I just think that was I've never seen a great fighter do that. Have you?
Nah,
I've
man.
never seen a great fighter, not even about Mexican. I've never seen
Hey, shout outs to Ohio Runs Boxing. What's going on? To my guy Marcus, salute. Salute to Cam J Network. You said it sounds loud and crispy. Love it. Thank you, Cam J. Salute, brother. Um,
Yep.
Mike Ware, you said Roy can't talk about Floyd and be mad about his response.
And
Okay,
know what's the
brother.
funny thing about that is, can you hear me?
Y'all can
Can
hear you
y'all
now.
still hear me?
Y'all can hear you.
No, this was funny about that because I'm silly. And believe me, I'm not biased. I'm gonna call it is a spade for spade. Roy, this is the conversation nobody want to hear.
Hmm.
Roy was the greatest athletic fighter. He was not the most technical fighter. He did a lot of things to break the rules in boxing. He just was so athletic, he could do it. And that's
Right.
no disrespect to him. He's probably one of the greatest athletes we ever witnessed. As in him not really having the basic fundamentals and still accomplish so much. But once his athleticism left, it had nothing to do with him going up in weight. Once that athleticism left, he had to box. He had to actually block punches. He had to actually pick and stick. He had to actually be a boxer. He couldn't fight like a chicken. When he said chicken, I mean, and there's no disrespect towards Roy, but in my opinion, his malice towards Floyd, um, it's been there. And him speaking on Ali, which a lot of people don't like hearing that, but Floyd didn't tell no lie. It was not a lie told. You got to think, Layla was upset when he spoke on that. Um, he didn't go at Layla, nothing like that. I think my uncle, the one who taught Layla Ali. I thought she learned how to box. So they know each other, but that's his opinion. I ain't saying that it's right or wrong. You have your
Right,
opinion, I
right,
have
right.
my opinion. But we all do know that Ali was fascinating, but the combination of what he did in the ring and out the ring made him the greatest of all time. Um, I just felt that Tyson said his thing, and he always had his feelings and his other hidden reasons why. And I'm definitely not gonna get into that on here, but it's hidden reasons on some Vegas stuff that why they got a little tension there. But he loves my family. You know what I'm saying? He deals with my uncle. Matter of fact, it's going to be a big smoke convention at the convention center on the 12th. Me, my uncle Floyd, and all of us going to go there. So, it's all good. Um, the first time I met Mike Tyson was with Floyd. It was Floyd, it was Zab Judah way before they ever even thought they was fight. Because, Zab and Floyd was like this. And I met Mike Tyson, and he got love for me because he say my brother is the best fighter he fought. Oh yeah, you ain't know. My brother is Tony Tucker. Remember him?
Yeah, I remember Tony Tucker.
Tony TNT Tucker is my brother. My father is Bob Tucker. Bob Tucker is who taught Big Floyd how to box. That's how the boxing came to the Mayweather family, was the Tuckers. My
Okay.
my, my father. He trained, Floyd and his son and all of them right along each other, about alongside of them. But yeah. So basically, all the champions that came from my town, I'm related to them.
Okay.
besides
Yeah.
Peter, besides Peter Quillen. Peter Quillen from Grand Rapids as well.
Okay, that's what's up,
Yep.
man.
But I just felt that Roy. I see what he was doing, and you follow Floyd enough to know, and I think a lot of people think, "Oh, Floyd doing this just to show Tank how it's done." Me personally, I believe that this was already in the making, and Roy got caught in something that he thought he was going to be a part of, but in reality, he was building that up for Tyson. You know what I'm saying? If you put it together, because Floyd never responded to Roy. He actually never responded this time. He was just enjoying some classic fights.
Okay.
But yeah, so to me, you know, I feel it. And honestly, I thought that him and Roy probably was going to probably get into it and, box or whatever and make some money. But let's be real, that Tyson and Floyd is much bigger. And, what you feel about ex well, what you feel about the exhibition? Do you feel that it's wrong at their age
I don't see
and
it as wrong,
what they
man.
accomplished?
I mean, they accomplished so much. They invested so much, and they took the sport to other level. You know, when you talk about Floyd and Mike Tyson on that pay per view level, you know, from that aspect. And then they both is, you know, like they're like the boxing Rushmores when you think about Vegas. You know what I mean? You think about Mike Tyson, you think about
Yeah,
Floyd, when you think about Vegas, those two guys definitely come to mind when you think about boxers, man.
yeah.
You
My
know, they
biggest question for that is, will it be grand? Will it be in America? That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that somebody from another country didn't have a bunch of money and they just want to be entertained, in their
right.
country.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Because
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think it actually, even though they're older, I don't think it would do bad. I think it would actually do pretty well. I think all the stars would come out. I think a lot of people would come out, and I don't think they would expect a brutal fight. I think they would just want to be there to witness. The two probably most iconic, and people like to hear something like, no, they probably the two most successful, as in successful boxers in history. Them two, because you got to think all the records Floyd beat was Mike Tyson's. I think out of the top 10 highest selling fights between Floyd and Tyson, they probably got 8 of them, 9 of them. And that'll never be broken because we finna leave that era of paying for fights is over. But this is what I would ask you real quick before we get into I know what you get into, the real stuff. Ooh, that's a good one too. What do you think about them getting rid of this pay-per-view stuff based on they don't really give us our money's worth with the undercards? You get what I'm saying? A
Hmm.
lot of the
Yeah.
undercards don't meet the $75.
Right. And you make a good point, man. That's definitely something my people's Cam J. Shout out to my cuz Cam J, man. He talks about that a lot on his platform. Um, he talks about the gates and the pay-per-views and giving people their money worth. And he's always speaking on undercards, you know, being lackluster, you know, that they need
Yeah,
to
I mean,
definitely yeah.
like one of the good undercards I've seen was actually Floyd and Canelo had a good undercard. I think they had remember Matisse. I think Matisse fought
Mhm.
Garcia. I think that's when Jay Leon probably fought. Oh boy, the tough dude to be. Uh, I was some. I know they had 3 great fights in the undercard. I was like, whoa, this is a good one. But somebody else, what's the name? Tried to have a great card. He tried. The Turkey dude in New York. They just didn't perform.
Oh,
That could
yeah,
have
the
been a
Times
great
Square
card.
card. Yeah.
That could have been a great card. Did the guy come from Asia? The Asian guy come and take the show for the whole weekend? Because to be
Yeah,
honest,
man.
everybody was back.
Yeah.
And dude, he took over that weekend to me. Uh,
Yeah. It was a highlight, yeah.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I'm anxious for the main. I'm anxious for that main stake we gonna talk about. That right there, because I want to know if you
Man.
felt the same way as me. Like as me, from the beginning when they introduced or announced that Canelo and what's his name fight, how many times have your mind kind of changed on which way to sway? Because mine
Oh
been like,
man.
man,
Yeah.
because you it's one of them fights you like, I don't know until they're in the ring. We don't. It's one of those fights you really like them, like because of the size and the skills, the feet. It's so many things Terrence could bring to the table, but will he bring them to the table? And will he bring them to the
Mm.
table for 12 rounds? Will he? And somebody said, no, he can't be on his feet. I said, he better get on his feet a little bit. He got to get on the feet a little bit. But yeah, my fault. I know you're supposed to ask about that, but yeah, that's the fight.
No, man. No, man. That's the one that we kind of chopped it up about a little bit when we messaged.
Right.
Man, I feel like initially when I heard it, I was just like Canelo gonna win, man. Canelo. You know what I mean? I was like Canelo. Kind of like didn't even like Canelo, man. He is too big. You know what I mean? But then I sat
Yeah,
back, man, and I kind of crossed my arms, and then I go back and review some clips of Bud Crawford, and then I'm looking at like what they done lately. Like they say, boxing is what you've done lately. But don't get me wrong, I feel
yeah.
like Canelo last couple of fights has been kind of downplaying his ability. Like I mean, we know that I feel like he can actually cut off the ring, but in his last couple of fights, he getting paid good or whatever, and he didn't even like he was looking at it like the fox ain't worth the chase. So when he fought that William Skull dude trying to survive, Canelo wasn't about to waste his time chasing him around the ring. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I think with Bud, he gonna get up for this fight. I think Canelo's gonna get up for this fight, and he gonna have no choice. You can't play with
And know what I
Bud. You
think
know what I'm
happened
saying?
though? I honestly think one, and I'm with Bud, but one mistake I think he made was I don't think he should have pushed him. I don't think he should have talked crazy to him. I think he should have let him look at him as the little guy and surprised him. I think that was motivation for him, seriously. I think that's what picked him up. Like, you know what? Even with that being said, can Bud beat him? I said, if he fight him like he fought Victor Postal, he could beat him. But people don't forget fighters' age. And if we look at Bud, he moves and he do got feet, but Bud moves within striking distance. He don't move like Shakur. He moves steps. Its advantages he got. I'm like, no, that jab is his advantage, but its disadvantages. It's easy to hit Bud with that right hand, and that's not a punch you want to get hit with by Canelo because we know how Canelo fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is gonna have power.
Everything, yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
Everything finna have power, and then even if, because you already know you already know how this is gonna go. The Canelo gonna try to get his off to begin with. Now, if Bud can make it 8 rounds, Bud beats him. They like what I'm like. Canelo tires out, but we don't know how Bud gonna be in 10 rounds with that weight on him. So it's
Yeah,
so
that is
many
a little bit of a
things.
worry.
It's so many things, and it's so in reality. Like when Floyd say that, I know because he's my cousin. Floyd don't be joking. He don't be joking when he tell y'all Canelo was one of my easiest fights. He's serious. It was really easy to him, and he seen everything it was coming, and not pulling the race card. But when you fight like a black man, it's kind of like a Chrysler 300. It looked like a Bentley until it raced a Bentley. He finna fight a Bentley now. So a lot of the tricks he used on these other nationalities won't work on Bud because they're tricks that we came up with. You get what I'm saying? And then they say, well, Bud defense is better. I said, their defense is equal. They said, why you figure? I said, because Bud got feet, but Bud head movement ain't as good as Canelo's. You get what I'm saying? Canelo got good head movement. He just, and you said you figure he can cut the ring off. I don't think so because he fought a few fights where he had to cut the ring off, and each one was difficult. Laura, feet, arguably he lost that fight. Floyd killed him. He has avoided black fighters for quite a long time, especially black fighters with feet. Caleb Plant ain't what they was building him up to be. Until he stopped using his feet, he got caught. He can't catch up to you. It's always been a thing, but he's not the only fighter that don't know. Not that he don't know how to cut the ring off. No, he don't really know how to cut the ring off. He don't. I've never seen him do it. Everybody he beat is there for him. They ain't trying to get away from him. Think about it. Charlo, he couldn't even catch up to Charlo. Charlo ain't even known
Right,
for feet.
right.
So, but I think Bud is a fighter with pride, and he fight off emotions. So it's certain things I'm waiting for. If I see Bud do this and smile, I say, we got to fight. We got to fight. Because if Bud can take some of what he got, oh, it's going to be a long night.
It's gonna be a
It's
long
going
night.
to be a
Yes,
long
sir.
night. A
Uh-huh.
long night. And I
Yeah.
think we're gonna find that out fairly fast. And the advantage of it's a lot. I give Bud just as it's 50-50. They say why? I said because one thing I've never seen Canelo do is adjust.
Mm.
If you find his number, you got him. You got him. And Canelo gives up. He gives up if you move too much. He gets to doing his hands like this. I just don't want Bud to get greedy. And I want him to fight a fight thinking they don't want you to win, man. Because you winning this fight don't make them as much money as you get knocked out.
Mm.
Because we know we can still make something happen with him. And I love Bud as a boxer, but Bud is not a marketable guy.
Right.
He haven't been respected long enough to be marketable like that. You get what I'm saying? Like he got
Yeah.
his stuff later, and a lot of that is his own fault. And they say why? I said because he had a chance to leave Bob Arum a long time ago. He decided to re-sign with him. So a lot of the fights that he wanted, he probably would have had earlier. But the switch hand that everybody talking about, and you watch boxing, I don't think him switching hands is a big deal. They like why I'm like because he really don't do it in fights. You know,
Right. You don't do it that
he get
often.
out
Yeah.
there, he don't do it. And they say, well, him and Boots the same. I said, well, I don't think Boots is nothing like Terrence Crawford. I don't think they fight nothing alike.
They
I
don't.
don't even
Yeah, they
think
don't.
that, and I don't look at what's the name as a switch hitter like that. They like what Boots. The reason why is Boots will do it for looks. He do it during times to do you a look. No, Terrence Crawford come out and say, okay, I'm pretty much going to fight you the rest of the fight this way. Whereas Boots might do it in the heat of fights. And going off the opponent's Boots fought, I'm like, I can't really say how effective that is because of the competition he had, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But I really was, I'm not mad at him, but I really was disappointed that he decided to be a part of that camp. Even though it's business and, business is business. It's just, if it's money on the floor for you at 154. Not to mention, at your age, you should have been inspired to want to fight Terrence Crawford. I mean, to want to fight Canelo Alvarez instead of helping. That should have been your thought process. Let me see if I can get my weight up. So it's but at the end of the day, you know the rules of boxing. The better fighter always wins. No matter what
For
you do, no
sure.
matter how you look, the better fighter always wins. So if Bud the better fighter that night, he can beat him. They say, well, the weight is too big. I said, well, not really. They like, why? I'm like, because Canelo at 168, he beat a bunch of older people and lackluster people. So the best version of Canelo is really 160 to me, which ain't that far off from 154. You get what I'm saying? They keep saying,
Mm-hmm.
well, he went up and he did this at 168. I'm like, name the people he fought at 168. I'll wait. Name them. They're like, what? I'm like, Kovalev? Really? Kovalev? Caleb
So
Plant?
let me. So I got a question to ask about with the Bud and Canelo thing, right? So they fight at 168. Do you think that Bud it'd be in his best interest to come in a little under that, maybe at like 163?
Yes.
Wicked.
Yes. Low as he can get. Low as he can get.
Mm-hmm.
Low as he can get. Because he want to be mobile. It's just
Mobile,
so many
mobility, and all that.
questions. There's so many questions. But I'm going to tell you what he did that was smart. What Bud did was smart. That was different between Charlo is. What Bud did is, think about it. What, 8 months that they announced it. From that time, he started building massive muscle and got big. Now, as in them being 185, that could be just some stuff that Floyd would do. I ain't gonna tell you how much I weigh. That ain't y'all business. I'm just gonna throw a number out there. But I would say 170. Say, for instance, he got to 175. Even if he got
Mm-hmm.
to 180, he bulked up. And I learned this from people that actually work out there. Like, no, he doing it right. He bulking up with the muscle, and then now he working out so much, but he could work on his agility and everything because of the way he did it. Now, had he had it's messed up, he didn't have a little fight at 160, but he kind of couldn't have did that in the middle of how he was getting his weight. He couldn't have a tune-up fight. And the tune-up fight, everybody talk about that. I'm like, well, to be honest, Bud only got like 11 fights in the last, 8 years. He's not even a fighter that fights 2 times a year. So I don't think that deals with nothing. And he needs to preserve his body. We keep forgetting, what's the name, the older man in boxing years. But Bud is the older man. He's the older man. And he's been in the league, he's been in the game, 15, 16 years himself?
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, yeah.
So them 2 veterans. So all of that stuff with their body and this stuff like that, I always tell people, I'm like, these are veterans though. So I'm sure everything is in place and they know their body. I believe that Bud probably have been sparring bigger people a long time ago, and that's cool. But hopefully in his mind, you have to understand, I ain't saying Canelo is the greatest fighter ever. This is an elite individual you finna fight. And you know the old school rule. Good big fighter sometimes usually beats a good small fighter. So actually, do you think they how? Because everybody just putting what's the name IQ so high. How far do you separate their IQ? Because I don't separate it as much as everybody else do.
Okay.
And they like, why? I'm like, because I can go blow for blow with you. They say, oh well, what's the name defense? What's the name defense better than his? I said, but he get hit more than him. Look it up. They said, well, I said, I don't gotta look it up. I can watch the fight. Bud get hits more than Canelo. Bud gets hit. He's not an elusive fighter. Him getting hit is part of his offense. Because he throws them combinations. He throw them counters as you throwing, which I hope what's they gonna do that to him because it's not gonna be good. If Canelo punch with him, we're gonna have a problem. So he gotta be like Floyd. He gotta put him in a position that, bow, let me get mine moved. Bow, he gotta keep him on his toes. If you set and y'all finna rumble and he punch with you, I like Bud. I think he tough, and I'm not going off of him getting hurt. But that's gonna be a different type of power with them 8 ounces on. This, you know it. It's gonna, and anywhere he hit him, it's gonna hurt. Anywhere. They're like, what? I'm like, I mean, because some people think, well, he really ain't punching like that. I said, y'all are forgetting. Y'all thinking he ain't punching on getting knockouts. He's at 168 pounds. Did you see the last person that was 154 pounds that tried to fight him? Look what happened to Kirkland. But I'm also a realist. Who said Terrence Crawford can't hurt him? You know, it's a great fight, but it's the first fight in my life that I can't give a person a bet. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. What I see happening is a close fight. To me, Bud wins if he have a competitive close fight because he get to get that check twice. Now, if he win, he going to the sunset. He gonna fight him again. Because I see this fight, if it ain't a knockout, I see them trying to work this thing twice if it's successful. If it's good. Because, no disrespect, I don't think Canelo want to fight Benavidez. Do you?
No, sir. I don't think so, man. Yeah, I don't think that's. I don't think he's ever wanted that. You know.
And I don't think it's fear. I think it's more of I can avoid that because I'm in the position to. I mean,
that's what I take.
Like
that he feels.
Like I'll never think that Floyd was scared of Thurman, but I think that I can't put it with Thurman. They like why I'm like because Thurman hadn't accomplished what David Benavidez had. Right. I don't think at the time, but it was like a, like Boots and Terrence Crawford. I don't believe that he's scared of Boots. Honestly, I believe he beat Boots. They're like, why I'm like, I just feel he got beat Boots. They're like, why I'm like, Boots get hit. They say he elusive, he get hit, and I don't know, but that fight don't matter. That ain't gonna happen. But I just would wish Boots. Before Terrence Crawford up there, I thought that Boots should have been 154. I thought he should have been going for that, taking over, and I believe that had he left there then, he would have been in a better position at 154 with leverage. He kind of stuck around 147 being big, waiting for these fights that there's no way you're getting them because you haven't earned them. You know, I'm Terrence Crawford. I've been fighting this whole time. I ain't never got my just due. They really paying me? You think I'm finna sit there and fight you? No, I'm going for the biggest check I can get. And it's not Boots. We would like to fight, but you haven't built yourself. And in my opinion, Ortiz is there. What's the 6'6" guy? That's the
Fundora,
champion.
Sebastian Fundora.
Fundora. I would have even appreciated him. He common opponent Metronome. I would have loved to see how he'd deal with him because it don't seem like nobody can beat him up for real. He gives everybody tough fights between Ortiz and Crawford. So I thought that would have been great for him to come straight up and fight him just like Crawford did, just like Ortiz did. I thought that would have been great. I don't know if he's scared of Ortiz or he thinks he's worth more than they're offering him. It could be that. Oh, this fight gonna be big. Nah, you like a. I don't. Maybe you can answer. Why do you think Boots is not marketable with that style of fight? What do you think it is? Because you would think that style would be very marketable. He got knockout power. He nice looking guy. He elusive. It seemed like they would give him the keys. I wonder what it is that. I wonder what it is. Is it management? Is it PR?
I'm about to say that. I wonder if it's a management issue and that, like sometimes the handlers don't be I don't know, man. The way they play their hand or whatever, they just be dropping the ball or something, man. Cause some
You know what else
guys.
I thought though? You know what I
What's
think
that?
it is too though. Now I think about it. I think, and it's not an insult. I think he's a serious fighter and he loves boxing. I think that he don't know how to sell himself. I don't think because usually with that style comes a lot of shit talking. You know what I'm saying? Roy Jones,
Right,
Floyd.
right,
When you're
right.
elusive, you talk. He kind of a humble guy.
Yeah,
He
not really
kind of humble.
flamboyant. Yeah,
And then
yeah.
and then his dad is not like that. Then his dad is not like Bill Haney, so he can't really sell him
That's
either.
true. Yeah, that's true.
Because
Yeah.
Devin Haney can't sell himself either. But Bill gonna sell it for you.
But
You
Bill, yeah, his
understand?
dad, yeah. Just like the
Yeah.
Floyd
So
Schofield. Yeah.
his dad gonna talk stuff. Now I ain't gonna even get there. Hey, this getting off. Somebody asked me about the Schofield and what's his name? The dude he knocked out.
Terrence Farmer.
He never was good.
Yeah, Farmer. Yeah.
And I'm not being
Tevin
disrespectful.
Farmer.
Like
Yeah.
he never was a great fighter. He was like a Peter Quillen to me. I'm like, what? I'm like, nah, he's a great story because he started late and he accomplished what he accomplished. But I'm not gonna sit there and say that Tevin Farmer ever been a threat in boxing, ever, ever. But definitely a great story, because what he started boxing at 17 or something.
Yeah, I think it was kind of late. Yeah, I think he came in the game late
So for him to,
in boxing.
for you to start fighting at 17 and get a championship, make some good money, it's great. But did I expect the dude to knock him out like that? Absolutely. They're like, why? I'm like, because he can punch. Now, do I think Schofield would beat Shakur? No. Ain't no black fighter beat Shakur.
Okay.
All you got to do is when you see Roach. Remember when they asked Roach, yeah, what about Shakur? He said, whoa, that's a bad boy. Because he been in there. I done sit there and seen Shakur spar so many times out here in Vegas, and I tell you this without putting names in there, because the people spar with him. None of them won.
Okay.
None of them.
Okay. So Shakur a dog like that. Okay.
He a dog, and boxing don't have those old school trainers teaching them old school tricks no more. So with that, it's gonna just be hard to get somebody to match that old school training. I don't know who really trained him. Is his dad or got to be his grandfather? But it's a couple of things I think he need to do a little bit better. Like last fight, he did a lot of stuff, but when he was on them ropes, he kind of stayed on a little bit too long. You got to throw something.
Yeah,
when they throwing that.
It was Zepeda. or it might just be his froze up. Yeah, I think it's froze. Yeah, I think it froze on his end. Yeah. All right. So y'all, let me run this back up here and say thanks to everybody that's here too. Make sure you hit the thumbs up, please. Like I say, shout outs to Cam J, my big bro. Uh, well, like my big bro, my cousin Zoe Pound in the house. Shout outs to Zoe Pound for sure. My bro JC. Um, let me see. Ohio runs boxing. Shout out to Marcus up north. Um, and and shout out to Stacy Mayweather. He should be back here in a second. We'll just kind of talk about the Bud versus Canelo, and then hopefully we'll have time to talk about finish up that part, and then talk about Fundora versus Keith Thurman. Um, so yeah, so like what I was talking about a little bit before too was Jose Benavidez said Anthony Yardy is definitely going to be a he can give David Benavidez problems. The only issue I see with Anthony Yardy is he's very, very bulky, a lot of muscle mass. So I just wonder if in the late rounds, because he's so muscular, will he start to fatigue? But if he doesn't, then it's going to be a back and forth with him and David Benavidez. I think it'll be a lot of mid-range fighting, stuff like that. There's going to be a lot of bombs being thrown from Yardy and from David Benavidez. And Yardy got a pretty good chin. I mean, although he did get stopped by Baterviev, hey, he didn't go down easy. So I think it's safe to say David Benavidez got his work cut out for him when he fights um, Anthony Yardy at 175. Now, I'm not sure what's going on with Dimitri Bivol at the moment, but um, we'll just have to sit back and keep our ears and our eyes open to see what Bill going to do next and what's going on with Beterbiev, what he's going to do next. Hopefully, Beterbiev will be in line to fight the winner of Yardy versus David Benavidez. So we'll see how it all unfolds. And then Danny Garcia is set to return, according to Ring Magazine, on October the 18th in Brooklyn. He'll be returning back to boxing. So we'll see how that goes with Danny Garcia. When he fought Errol Spence, he looked okay. Nothing too crazy, but his last fight, I can't remember the opponent, but his performance was I would say it was kind of like a mediocre performance. But hopefully when he comes back, he'll get like a tune-up type of opponent, get his ring rust shaken off, and then jump right back up in there with the other top contenders, So shout outs to Danny Garcia. Adrian Broner from Cincinnati, y'all. He's coming back. And his record is 35-5-1, by which 24 are knockouts. He'll be fighting Haskell Rhodes, 32-8-1. All right, bro. If you can hear me.
My fault, man. My phone died, man.
Oh, it's all good.
This old raggedy phone here.
Yep. So I want to read a couple of these comments in the chat real quick, man. because I know we started going back and forth and we get caught up in the conversation. But my cousin, shout out to my big cuz Zopound. He said, I think that the sport of boxing at this stage entertains call outs from individuals who has proven themselves, uh, that have not proven themselves.
That's true. I agree 100%.
Okay,
I agree 100%.
that's what's up. So you agree 100%. That's what's up, man. Um,
Because like you know what I'm saying?
mhm.
That's what we was talking about. Like it's cool to throw a name out there, but take care of what's in front of you. Clean up the streets, and then you don't got to call them out so much.
Right, right. Okay, yeah. Um, Also, my big cuz said, I definitely feel like properly trained Schofield will beat Shakur Stevenson. So my bro, he thinks a little different than you on that area.
Yeah, I mean,
And I'm 50-50 with it. I'm 50-50.
and to me
I
it's
don't know.
fair. But to be honest, Schofield, he got to beat somebody to even think about that. He got to beat somebody. He ain't fought nobody. Tevin Farmer ain't no. You can't measure him to him. But um, I have my opinion. I don't even got it a 50-50 fight. I don't think he'll win a round. Not only do I think he'll beat him, he won't win a round. Um, but I can understand why people would think that because it's skills versus power. So people do that. But like he said, he said the key word: if he properly trained. Well, I don't think his dad's trying to pay nobody else to properly train him. So that's not gonna happen.
Say Pop Schofield.
But I think a lot of fighters are properly trained. Like Rolly wouldn't be great, but Rolly would be a way better fighter if he had better trainers. Sorry, Bullet, you
Yeah,
my man, but it's the facts. But he right, Schofield get trained. Like one of my favorite youngsters is well, it's a lot of youngsters. Like to me, once again, like he said, I think he could properly train. Okay, well, fight Abdullah Mason first. Like, take care of these guys first before you just get straight to the champion. Mason, right there, go holler at him.
yeah, that'd be a good one for sure, man. Shout
And
out to
that
Abdullah
fight
Mason.
there,
Yeah,
I can't say that Schofield will lose, but I do believe, even though he's young, it'll take him, it'll fast track him a little bit. This is what I want to ask you though. This is a funny one. We forgot about this. Hey, this is my cousin, and I can't ask you this. Why do you think Floyd doing that to Frank Roach, man? What is that about?
oh man, I seen a little bit about it, man, and I was wondering, you know,
Do you think he sees something we don't? Because I like Carmel, but have he even fought a 10-round fight yet?
I think I'm trying to think that he might have went with what's that dude, Jamel Herring. They might have went to the distance.
Who?
Lamont Rose Jr.
No. I know he lost to him, but I'm saying
Oh,
Carmel. I'm saying like
oh,
he
Camaro
haven't
Moten,
even
little
fought a
Camaro,
10-round fight
Camaro.
yet, have he?
No, I don't think Camaro Moten has. Yeah, he's
So
an
I'm
up and
like,
coming
how
young
how
gun.
would they
Yeah,
even be able to fight a 12-round fight? That's crazy.
yeah. It
I mean, but
is.
I'm gonna be honest. If I'm Lamont Roach, and this is real facts on the business part to me, he living off of a draw, but not realizing it didn't catapult you to stardom. So you really don't got the option. Your options aren't that different. You get what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
now you face to probably fight a Shakur Stevenson. They're like, why? I'm like, because they try to make this Shakur tank, so the common sense would be, well, why don't you fight Shakur? Which I don't know why he didn't fight him though. Why
Yeah,
you
no.
think we never know, but why you think he didn't fight Lamar Roach again?
Um, man, I was trying to think. Like, I don't see why he wouldn't, because I know he can make adjustments. He could
And then
definitely
I
make
seen
adjustments.
like Calvin and they crew. You haven't
Gary
seen
Hunter.
them keep making these things with saying Lamar Roach snitched. What are they talking about? Like they on their page, they got like a head on him, like he a snitch.
Mm, like, oh wow, I
And
don't think I
somebody
seen
said,
that.
well, maybe that's because he tried to go to commission about something. I don't know.
Okay.
Because what do you do you think Lamar Roach should have entertained the fight instead of asking something that he damn sure ain't getting? To must have known, how about me and you fight? Man, dude, champ call, answer. If Floyd called me and I'm a boxer, I'm answering.
Absolutely.
And you talking about giving me money out your pocket, I'm answering.
You're gonna answer,
Especially to fight
right?
somebody that you said he ain't ready. If he ain't ready, beat him up. Easy money.
Easy money, man. Yeah, like you said, Floyd hit you up, man. You got to answer that one. Now we talked about the other guy, the real tall guy, Fundora, Sebastian Fundora, the real tall
We
guy.
ain't really talk about it. We just mentioned that we wish that Boots would have probably. I ain't gonna say he should have went straight for a 6'6" guy. I just figured that
Right.
Boots, if you calling out champions and the way you was calling them out and looking good, I just don't understand why you need a soft touch when you went up in weight. I just don't understand that. It don't make sense to me. Like I've never heard of that guy, man. That's why when you was mentioning talking about it, I'm like, I could talk about Boots. And it's no diss to Boots. I believe he could fight. I believe he got good power. I believe that. I believe all of that stuff. And the only thing I could think of is maybe he believes his value is more than it is. That's the only thing I could. I don't know because I'm like, this don't even seem like this fight is gonna make you a lot of money, man.
Right.
You
Yeah.
get what I'm saying? Like, I really think he
Mhm.
should have fought Matchronoff. I think he should have fought him first. I'm like, why? I'm like,
That that'd have been a good
because
one, Madrigal.
was it that Ortiz first fight at 154 was
Ortiz,
Matchronoff?
I can find out for sure because I'm not for
And
sure
if
on the
it
top of
was
my head.
Matchronoff, he did that because he seen Terrence Crawford do it. Like, okay, let me fight who the best fought and had a tough fight.
Well, see, and that's what I feel like you just said. So if Terrence fought Madrimov, it'd be good to see how Boots does with the same opponent because
Exactly.
Madrimov
And
did
what's the
kind
name
of
fought
give a
him right
little
after that.
issue.
And Ortiz fought him when he went up to 154. And didn't stop him either. And he gave Ortiz problems too. That day, he tough. To me, he's a great not test because he Olympian and stuff, but to me, you beat him, you are better than the average fighter. You beat this other guy, you just gonna look good. To me, I mean, I didn't understand it. No different than I never understood because in my opinion, oh yeah, this is what I want to ask you. Is it true about this? Is that a lie when they talk about Errol Spence and one of the Charlo brothers is talking? Is he really like calling out Errol Spence right now?
You know what, man? I was wondering the same thing, and somebody in the chat may know who's been doing even deeper research, but I wasn't so sure that that's. I don't know if he was just doing that just to kind of like get everybody, be relevant again because he ain't fought in a while, and Spence ain't fought in a while, so he might just want to be trying to just get his name, you know what I mean, and put his face back out there again because neither guy had been fought in a while. Spence ain't fought since
Wait. I thought both of
Bud
the
beat him.
Charlos didn't both of the Charlos fought last year though, didn't they?
That's right. He did come back. He had a because he stopped dude. I want to say the bigger Charlo ended up stopping, but
Fought the little Benavidez, right?
yeah, yep. Now that you said that, it kind of came back to my mind. Yeah, he did fight.
I forgot.
He
I
did.
mean, I forgot because they haven't been active, but that's what I was wondering. I'm like, man, but at the same time, I think that, but you got to think, don't forget that, the stuff happened with the coach, with James and Errol Spence. So that, and they both not, Charlo's not from Texas, and only one of them was right there with Errol Spence. The other one was trained by somebody completely different. So it's, but to me, it don't make sense to call out somebody that's inactive. Do you see Errol?
Yeah.
Do you think Errol Spence is gonna fight again?
I'm wondering, man. I seen a little clip of him doing, pad work recently, and I was kind of like, man, I ain't gonna lie, because I'm a Spence fan. So when I see a fighter that I really follow or really like a fan of, if I don't see him at a certain level from the eyes or whatever, I'm like, just looking at the little subtle things like his footwork looked too predictable. He had power behind his punches or whatever, but his footwork and his timing, what I'm saying, it was like it was off, man. I just don't know. I just
So
think
you
that
think it might
once
be
he,
like I tell people, I don't think Spence will ever fight again to be a serious contention. I could see him coming back for a good check. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Coming back for a little bag, but I don't see him at 154. From what I see out there, even the people that's not champions between Tim Zeus, well, he don't look good no more, but 154, I don't see him really getting the championship at 154. I think that Ortiz will give him hell. I believe Boots will give him hell because, like you said, not the old version of him, this version.
right.
I and honestly, I personally know Errol, real cool dude, man. Honestly, after what I've seen with Terrence Crawford, man, I want him to be with his family, man. I think he made good money. But if they offer him a certain amount of money, I know he's gonna go get the money. But I think that, and not just Terrence, I think that between his lifestyle, you know what I mean by that, the lifestyle that he was living, um, and as in not, putting the wrong stuff in your body. I think between that and the car accident, I think he should walk away with it, man. Why he got all his faculties? Because one more good beat down could change him. Because you got to think, my uncle Roger had diabetes. I was there step by step with Roger in the house the last couple of years with him, and though he had diabetes, that boxing. Boxing did that, and it's not like it happened during him boxing. Like, I'm pretty sure, like you said, a history of boxing. These things happen when the cameras ain't there no more. He might turn 45 years old and start forgetting stuff and everything. And somebody saying off of one whoop, I said, it only take one punch to mess you up. It don't got to be a lot of whoopings. It only take one punch, but you're not going to feel messed up tomorrow. But I feel that he is damaged. Even with Terrence Crawford, I'm not taking nothing from Terrence, but I'm like his timing, that ain't Errol Spence, man. Even the Errol Spence that beat Ugas wasn't Errol Spence. I'm like, no, that's not the same fighter. It was a hair off. But what you saying is, no, I clearly see it now.
Yeah.
I clearly see it now. And before that fight, I wouldn't put the person name out. I won a bunch of money on the Terrence Crawford fight because a guy that actually lived in Texas and would go to their camp and was cool with some Charlos, he called me and said, man, bet everything on Terrence Crawford. He said, what? He said, man, Errol Spence looking horrible. He getting toe up in sparring. And I was like, really? They was like, yes, bad. Like, his stuff, he was off. Now, one more thing about Terrence, another interesting thing. I know he the man and he do his thing. I'm like, will the rich Terrence Crawford that is actually acknowledged perform the same way as the hungry Terrence Crawford that nobody paid attention to? You get what I'm saying?
Okay, run that back one more time. Break that down.
I said, this is a good question. Will the rich Terrence Crawford that people know perform like the Terrence Crawford that nobody paid attention to? Will that hunger still be there? Because Marvin Hagler said it the best. It's hard to get up and work hard when you're getting off of silk sheets.
silk
satin
sheets,
sheets.
right?
You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
we don't know, and I ain't in his personal business, but you done dipped off and had you a baby. You talking now. All of these to me deal with your psyche, so we never know. But it's so many questions with this and how it is and his stardom now. Because you got to think, Terrence Crawford is actually acknowledged. At first, Terrence Crawford could walk in the Myers store and you wouldn't even know who he was. So we don't know how that affect you. I do like the fact that they're not doing a bunch of build up and all this traveling across the country and stuff like that. That's kind of cool. So I feel like you said, this is the thing you said the deepest was, I think we probably gonna get the best Canelo this time though. I don't think he's gonna get the Canelo we've been seeing the last 2 years.
And I think on the in the same aspect, I feel like Bud is gonna be like he ain't gonna play no games. I think he will be. I don't think he's gonna let the money get him uh too much in the comfort zone. I think he knows what's at stake right here.
Or
He knows
another question,
his
or
O
do
his
he
O
know
gonna
what's
be
at
at.
stake?
Mhm.
Or is this a situation where I know what's at stake, or is this a situation where I'm planning, I'm planning, I'm 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 setting up my situation to walk away at 38 years old. Though he's
That's a
training,
good question. Yeah,
but that money, when you know that money, like these are things that Floyd told me because he think he had it with Errol Spence. Errol Spence wasn't no superstar. He think he had it. What Bud is going to walk into is something he never seen before on a Mexican holiday. What Bud is going to do is what at least 25 to 30 of Floyd opponents had to witness. What? A stage so big that you had to adjust your eyes to the light is different. Not saying that he won't be able to handle that because some can, but it's a stage he never been on. I mean, it's a stage that not many fighters been on. Y'all fighting in an arena. I mean,
right.
a real stadium, a football stadium. So it's major. I'm still wondering if I'm gonna go, but I kind of want to watch that fight on TV. And a lot of people said, "Why?" I said, "Cause man, sometimes you can see the fight better on TV. If I don't got the money to be in the front row, I kind of don't want to go. You know what I mean? I don't want to watch the fight so far that I gotta watch it on a teleprompter. I might as well watch it on TV."
On TV. Right.
But you going to the fight or?
I ain't gonna make it, but me and JC's homeboy Walt Davis. Shout outs to Walt Davis. He's going, so he gonna be there.
Also, you gonna get y'all some footage as well?
Yeah, he gonna try to get some footage for me when he out there in
It's gonna
Vegas.
be it's gonna be. I mean, I kind of want to give a prediction on this fight, but I can't. But I can tell you this: I'm going for Crawford. Um, I'm going for Crawford in a tough fought fight. He possibly might get dropped, but I feel that if anybody could do it, what he's attempting to do, it will be him. And is it impossible to be done? I said, well, Sugar Ray Leonard was retired for 2 years as a welterweight, came out and beat Marvin Hagler as a middleweight. So it's possible.
Mm-hmm.
It's possible. I'm rooting for Bud, man. But it's a 50-50 fight. And I'm probably gonna bet some money on Bud. Why? Because that's probably the only way you can make some money. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Besides that, I'm trying to think. Besides Bud Crawford fight, after this fight, from talks, what else is interesting? It seemed like it ain't enough of the fights we want to see. I see the Turkey dude trying to start making it happen, but like
Right.
after that, I'm trying to think. You got that, and then the other biggest talks is exhibition. So I'm like, damn, what's the next big fight since Tank done stepped down for a minute?
Right. Well,
And
that
then
the guy we was talking about, the big tall guy from Dora,
who
he's
he
gonna
fight?
fight. He's fighting Keith Thurman. Keith
Really?
Thurman. Yeah, Keith Thurman. I think in November, I believe. I could double check. I had it in my.
Um,
Yeah, Yeah, Keith
This
Thurman.
sounds crazy, man, to some people, but even the older, I'm like, Keith Thurman can fight though.
Yeah, he can.
He can
He got a
fight,
fight
man.
on October 25th at MGM
Wait,
in
they
Las
fighting
Vegas.
that early?
Yep.
Hey, I ain't gonna
Fedor
lie.
at
Tell the truth about
WBC
Fandor.
middleweight champ.
Fandor don't turn down no money, do he? He just fought. Friend, I like them the type of champions I like. He stay busy. Who
Yeah,
you
he
got in
do.
that one,
He
man?
do. He had like 3 fights in 1 year, I think. Yeah, Fedor.
Who
Think it
you
ain't
got
no
in that
turnover.
fight?
I like Keith Thurman, but I think that the Sebastian Fedor give everybody problems because his reach. He's so tall and wiry, but he know how to fight with that keep you on the end of that jab. It's so hard for people. Even Tim Zoo, he was struggling to try to get in the inside.
And then you got to think too. You like, what's the name? Older, and he not the most active guy.
Yeah, Thurman. Yeah, he ain't been.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he kind of. It's one of them things. But it's one of them things that you like. Keith Thurman might lose, but he probably still don't get knocked out. But what I think is gonna come into play is not only do he fight long and rangy, he throw a lot of punches, man, and he take a lot out of you. You know what I'm saying? He take a lot out of you in a 12-round fight, man. And I don't know if a person that's that inactive is really, because this ain't gonna be no Mario Barrios situation. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to ask you, because everybody thought I was crazy. I watched it 3 times. In my opinion, man, that fight looked. I never said this, but it looked like that Mario Barrios fight was fixed, like they wasn't trying to hurt each other or something.
Oh, with him and Pac-Man.
It was
Pacquiao.
weird. I'm like, why is he? Do you think he just was so nervous because it was? I mean, I didn't think Mario Barrios was the best, but he never looked it like that. He was fighting like.
Oh man, I mean, I need to go watch the fight again, but Pacquiao, to me, he's still like, how do I put it? I mean, Barrios was probably like the perfect fight for him. Like he couldn't go and fight these top guys, you know what I mean? But Barrios, I think that's the one that Tank knocked out back in the day, Mario Barrios. So yeah, I mean, I think he was the perfect opponent for Pacquiao at this time. But Pacquiao, although he's a legend, he can't contend with these top guys.
Yeah, what I see him doing is what I see Pacquiao doing is I think Tank name was in the hat. That's what shocked me with Tank and Jake Paul. I'm like, bro, Pacquiao here. That's a fight you could get. One, it was Pacquiao was there, and there was another option that I think that Tank could have had.
I wish he would have fought. Well, he tried to fight Lomachenko towards the end, but Lomachenko, he
Yeah, then I
retired
see,
now.
um, and then Floyd, this Mike Tyson thing going. So that was something that could have happened, Floyd and Pacquiao. But I see Pacquiao fighting Rolly. I see him fighting Rolly, and even though Rolly ain't the best boxers, Pacquiao, he hit you with that left hand, man. It's gonna be bad for you.
He can hurt. Yeah, he can hurt Rolly.
Yeah,
Actually.
he got power. You see what Tank said?
Rolly got
Tank said,
power.
man, he was hitting hard, man.
Yeah.
Tank said he hit hard, but I think some fighters is just strong. Like, because you see Canelo out of all these people he fought, he said Kirkland hit him the hardest he's been hit. Floyd told me that, who did he say hit real hard? I think it was
him Maidana, maybe?
Nope, it wasn't actually Maidana. I think he might have said Pacquiao at the time. It wasn't Canelo. It wasn't somebody, I forgot who it was, but my thing was, I was like, because he get on his shoulder so he can feel your power. Like, do you believe that they hit hard, or do you believe that this is your 20th year of boxing? So that shit hurt that you was able to take. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard to, to gauge it, but with Canelo, I could gauge it well. I'm like, why? I'm like, because Canelo only 36 years old, and you know he been and he older, so he pretty much telling you, Bivol wasn't hitting hard as what's his name, but that can deal with, which is an advantage for Terrence Crawford. I said, but that can deal with Canelo. You have been fighting slower guys for a lot of years. This dude ain't gonna be slow. You know, it's I don't know. We gotta see. I wish you was down here. We definitely would have chopped it up, but that's just the fact that, because when you told me we was doing this, all I was thinking is, man, once me and him get done with that show, we 1 week away from the fight. And I just wanted to, you know what I'm saying? I think that, because, you know, super fights a lot of times don't be the most competitive or good fights, and because they be too technical. I think this is going to be a good one, though, because of the styles that they both have. I think it's going to be a good one. Because I think Crawford will move, but I don't think he will run. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yep.
I think he will move, but I don't think he will run. Because
I don't think he will run. Right.
And I believe that, and this is the real reason I tell people don't bet against Crawford. I'm like, it's something about this dude's confidence that I just can't go against. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's something about him, and he haven't proved me wrong yet. He haven't proved me wrong. And it's like, even when this is what did it. He was like this, and Canelo said something. He said, yeah, you ain't never seen nothing like me before, too. He said, yeah, I've seen something like you before. He said, okay. It was just this look that I'm like, I don't know if it's going to work, but I do believe they can say what they want about Bomac. I believe he do his due diligence on studying.
I do too.
And I believe they got a game plan, and I think they got about 3 or 4 game plans, because Canelo Alvarez is a fighter. He's good, but he's not a fighter that you can't figure out by tape. He has a couple different styles. He don't adjust. And what you see is what you're going to get. He don't adjust. If he coming for you, he coming for you. If he fighting on the counter, that's how he fighting. He don't know how to change in the middle of it. Like you said, he chasing people around and he can't catch him. He just stopped, but he don't get another plan. I'm like, dude, do something different. You just gonna follow the dude around? Now, if he, like you said, if he getting up, and if the same version of they fought Skull fought him, Crawford wins. Or he can take them punches. But I think it's all about taking it. And they like, he ain't gonna be taking his punches. I said, y'all have to understand, it's very few. Canelo can punch and it looks brutal, but y'all gotta understand it. Canelo usually get knockouts later in the fight, 8th, 9th round. So obviously people can take his punches for 8 rounds. It's not like he hits people and everything breaks when he touches them. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I ain't saying he can't knock. He can knock anybody out. I'm like, but I don't know if what's the name just gonna get straight in the line of fire. You know what I'm saying? I don't see him just getting in the line of fire of Canelo, of nobody. He didn't even do it with the last dude. I mean, good. I'm going with Crawford, man. That's my final answer. Who you going with?
I'm going with Crawford, but let me read these off too, these chats, so you can weigh in on this, right? So my big cousin Zopound said he does not believe that Bud is done. He believes he's more hungry. Kind of like to that question you asked earlier about doing better, being, rich or whatever, this, that, and the other. There's the hunger still there. And Big Cuzzo said he feel like he's more hungry. He also said, Zopound said, the blueprint for Crawford, in my opinion, is to study in depth Canelo versus Mayweather and Canelo versus Bivol.
Exactly.
He said exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. That's the exact. And know what's funny? Neither one of them are known to be power punchers. Neither one of them are big power punchers.
Right.
They better boxers.
They're clever.
He's right, because, and know why I said he right? Because Bud, of course, he can't be the bigger man, and he can't be elusive as Floyd. But if he mixed them two together, you got a great fight. What else you got there?
So shout out to Cam J. He said, this is about Errol Spence. He said, Earl been working and sparring recently. He looking to come back top of 2026.
I mean, and to me, for Errol, I do believe when he go to 154, this is my opinion, I do believe he deserves a soft touch. I do believe he deserves a tune-up just to see where he at and see if this is what he want to do. And then, go straight in. But I don't want him to fight Fandora his first fight, please.
Yeah, please. Right. I agree.
That's just, like you said, he's hard for anybody, especially somebody who's been laid off 2 years.
Right. For sure. That's definitely biting off possibly more than you can chew. Dez Scobie, shout out to Dez Scobie. You said out of Texas, Errol Spence went from pound for pound to what if? Yeah, Errol Spence kind of did go from the ones you're looking at.
And how old is ain't Errol getting up there? He about 37, 38 now, right?
Is Errol Spence 37, 38, big bro?
I know him and what's his name was close to the same age.
Okay. Yeah.
Because remember, Errol Spence was good, but don't forget he became professional kind of late.
Oh, okay.
Errol Spence was 20-something when he became professional, like 26.
Okay. Yeah.
So I think he was trying to catch that Olympic thing.
All right, let me read another of these comments. Zopound said, when you change your circle during training camp is when I get worried. Bud has kept his circle tight and consistent.
You know what's funny? Because Terrence always catch stuff, and he hey, whoever Zopound is, he on his shit. He know that boxing. It's funny because a lot of the stuff he said, like, remember when he was like, "Oh, I ain't seen nothing like you. You gonna see it's different." And then, like he said, it's so different, but bro, you running to get boots, paying him big money, you changing everything around, bro. You worried about something. you worried about something. You know what I'm saying? Because if Bud was just another dude, that it be so different for Bud, why you change up your format? He was just another walk in the park. He just a little dude, right? And I don't want to say this about not saying that, because everybody do it at certain levels, but let's just be honest, like Canelo done had the opportunity to handpick for about 8 years now, man. Every opponent Canelo fought, he wanted to fight him. So and like he said, yeah, I'm gonna go. What was Zopound? I wasn't saying that he's not as hungry. I was wondering. I wonder if that will affect him. But I feel you. And I ain't gonna lie. Wow, I just looked. My cousin just showed me a picture. Damn, yeah. Y'all see this physique now? Y'all seen that picture they just released?
Yeah, man.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Bud.
He looks scary, man. You see, he got muscles in his neck, man.
Everything, man. Yeah, he got everything. Shoulders.
Ooh,
neck,
yeah,
everything.
he definitely hungry. And I think that's because of how he put the weight on and then brought it down. And to me, what makes it great is him putting that. Because see, with Charlo, I think Charlo was out of the league for a while. I mean, out of the game for a while, and then came back, put on the weight, and then tried to bust it. I think how Terrence did it is he got big, but he got big in muscle, not weight. The muscle and the weight, and that allowed him to train on his craft so much he don't got to worry about weight because he could jog hard. He could do his strength training because strength training they hold you back when you're dealing with weight. Now he don't got to hold back on his strength and training. We really finna get a more dangerous Bud than he ever been. This is finna be the best Bud Crawford we've seen because his weight finna be more than natural. Because from what I hear, they said the boy walk around about 170 something anyways.
You took
so he's not a little man.
I was about to ask, like, what do you think he walked around at? But you answered it. Yeah.
And you remember when he was 147 pounds, the young man deadlift 450 pounds like it was a piece of candy. He's strong as a bull.
Yeah, he's strong.
Now,
Yeah.
but he's not going to be able to bully because, let's be real. Bud a bully, man. Not a weight bully, but he a bully. He really strong. He know that MMA stuff. That's not going to be something that's going to worry about Tank. Canelo, because, Canelo, he got them cement feet, but he's a grounded fighter. He's a little tank. He ain't moving. You ain't finna manhandle him. Great fight, man. Actually, it's a great fight. Like you said, at first I was like, man, that don't even make sense. But as I put it together and look at what's his name is bigger in weight, but he's really not. He's not even a natural 168 pounder. So he's not a big man. He probably about. Honestly, I think Bud outside of weight, the advantages on the height as well as the reach goes to Bud. And I think Bud jab is going to be the key factor in this fight because Canelo hates jabbers. And you got to think, he jabbing you with his power hand. Terrence Crawford, you got to think, he got to jab hard enough. You got to think he dropped, what's the name with the damn jab?
Spence.
Yeah.
Yeah, Spence.
That's what made me think, what's wrong with Spence, man? Like, stripped it. And I ain't gonna lie, Spence one of the toughest dudes I've seen because you watch that fight and the way he was fighting, he still never stayed on that ground, man. That's a tough guy, man. Because I ain't gonna lie, if he wouldn't have got up, everybody would have been okay with that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because he got dropped 3 times, 3?
Yeah,
bad,
like
man.
3 or 4 times. Yeah.
He was tough, man, but I think that toughness, in my opinion, like that might have took the one more fight he had in him. Because to me, he got a tune-up fight, but to me, he might could fight one more fight, but I don't know nobody in 154 that would be a soft touch that got a belt, though. I'm like, man, and they hitting hard up there, man. Because if they fighting that 154, it's clear they probably walking around his size. Could you see, So, yeah, but Bud, I'm just interested, and I wish I was a fly on the wall. Honestly, well, it's too late now because he probably ain't what's name. When I found out he was here, I was gonna go to the gym and see a little something. But when fights this big, I know a couple people, but when fights this big, they be tight about who come in they stuff, what's going on, because a lot of spies going on,
Right.
So I would have loved to be a fly on the wall to see how he looks sparring, though, even if it's not Canelo. Of course, the person he fighting ain't Canelo, but I just wouldn't mind seeing how he looking. And that's another thing I think that he doing this so brilliant is every time you see his training for this fight, he not showing you nothing to go off of. He hitting the bag looking like it's slow when he hit the pass. He like, get the camera. It's like I feel he has this trick up his sleeve.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know what it is, and I don't know if it's gonna work, but they got a game plan for Bud. For him. I don't think that there is a game plan for a fighter like Bud, though. Because he adjusts a lot. He could be a boxer. He could be a slugger. It's hard to have a game plan for him because I got to put him up there with Floyd. I would have to say Bud and Floyd probably are the 2 best fighters I've seen with adjustment skills like that. They really do adapt and adjust to you and find a way to win, and they get your timing. And once Bud gets your timing, it's over. So to me, I kind of want Canelo to come out. I want him to come out hot. I want him to come out with his best. I want his first 3 rounds because I know that once Terrence get them 3 rounds in, he done figured you out because he download information, but everybody keeps saying they be taking him like 5 rounds. I said, no, it takes him 5 rounds when it's a little different. This is different. He gonna download this information quicker than you think, and Canelo gonna give him information. You know what Canelo do every time. He do what he do. He gonna throw his left hook, right hands in his best punches. He'll throw his left hook, right hand. He gonna go to the body. Once he see that don't work, Canelo, you know this. Canelo put his arms down, man, when he frustrated. He do like this. And he be walking to you like this. And when you see that, bud, you can whooping him. That's all you gotta do. Like when I'm like, you can whoop him. They said, well, anybody else did it. I said, because they kept him away from fighters that had the skills to do it. That's why. He fought Louisville. After that fight, they didn't put him around a dude with feet for about 10 years. They kept him away from it. And I think that's going to hurt him. I said, why? I said, you sparring with boots ain't going to be nothing like getting in there with what's in there. You see what Bud said? What you think about him sparring with boots? He said, oh, well, I guess I'm better than, I guess I must be more difficult than he think. He's sparring him. He said, but that's okay. He not me.
Yep, that's
what and people took that as, oh, he disrespecting him. I said, that ain't dissing him. He telling the truth. I mean, I'm being honest. Like, it just hurt me for boots because I'm looking at him like, dude, look at these dudes' age. You up next, bro. Why would you do this? I ain't saying you're going to win everything, but you are in the picture of what's next for boxing. You, Shakur, you know what I'm saying? Y'all the next. Y'all next up. Y'all in your late 20s, early 30s. Dude, what are you doing? I've never seen that. I've never seen nobody with 27 fights that was a champion, man, be a sparring partner. I've never seen that. I've never seen it in my life. If you see something like that, they friends. If you see something like that, we friends and we helping each other. Like some Shakur and Keyshawn stuff or something like that. Or Shakur and Terrence when they spar, working on each other, helping each other. I ain't never seen nobody do that. I've never seen that.
And I want to touch on something go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, I just wanted to touch on something you said like midway through the podcast, right? I'm just rewinding it back a little bit. You were saying how you would never bet against Bud Crawford, right?
Yeah.
And I started thinking about Teddy Atlas interview. And Teddy Atlas said Bud has that if factor. He has that if factor. He has that killer instinct. And that to me is another big factor to why I like the style of Bud. You know what I mean? Once he got you hurt, he don't hesitate. Once he got you hurt, it's full throttle.
And this is what I told somebody, because of course, you know, with this, the comparison comes to Floyd. I said, no, man, listen. And even Bivol, Zopal said it best. You mixed them two. The third thing he need is already in him. And that's something that Floyd or what's the name that got. Floyd was good. Bivol was good. They technical, this and that. Bud's mean. Bud's mean. That's a mean dude. He's a dude that he want to hurt you. He don't want to beat you. He want to hurt you. Right. And I don't even think Bivol is a fighter that wants to hurt you. Or Floyd. He wants to hurt. He mean. Like you said, he's mean and he a dog. And when you fight fighters like that, I'm like, no, you're going to have to show him. Like for me with Bud, I'm like, no, y'all gonna have to show me, man. They said what I said, and the fact he never lost. I said, what? Floyd told me this a long time ago. He was like, the longer you become winning, like he ain't saying that because you lost, you can't lose. He's like, but once you felt defeat, it's easier to accept. It's easy to accept defeat once you actually lost. Bud ain't lost. So it's like what he got from him got to get taken from him.
Absolutely.
Canelo can get to a point in the fight and give up on his stuff. Like, man, I can't beat him. Because he's been in that situation. Like, I can't touch him. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Bud is like, no, ain't nobody. Because, you know, he'll come from behind. Now, I don't want, but when I see Bud doing this, first 4 rounds, not badly, I could see Bud losing the first 4 rounds. Because the way he fight, and it sounds crazy. We want to know how Canelo hit, but guess what? So do he.
Right, he has to, right. He
want to know. Yeah, he want to know, like, let me feel it. Yeah. And I feel that within 4 rounds, it's like typical Terrence Crawford, really feel this. I said, I don't think it's going to be no different after 4 or 5 rounds. I'm like, Terrence is going to have his information downloaded, and he gonna start doing what he do. And he know where to slip up back. Cause remember when they asked him about I think it was Mean Machine. And they said, what about that? He was like, man, I ain't gonna lie. I got a little full of myself. He said it out of his mouth like, I kind of was tripping. Nobody's gonna convince me that you can compare Bud any of his fights to how he gonna fight this fight. I said, why? I said, because he know what he dealing with.
Right, for sure.
He know what he dealing with. He gonna be sharp. And you ever seen that Victor Postal fight?
That's the one I didn't see. Everybody's talking about
that fight, and that Bud Crawford is the Bud he gonna be. And Zoe Pound know what I'm talking about. The Bud Crawford that fought Victor Postal he's never fought like that before or after it. Man, he looked like Floyd almost. Defensive specialist, coming in right at the right time, coming in, man, beautiful work. Even though he's much bigger, that fight, I know that he has that in him. I know that he knows how to fight that way. And we already know. That's why I said it's such balance. They both great counter punches, but I give the edge to Bud on the counter punch. I said, why? I said, because he going to get there quicker. He going to get there quicker. And somebody said, do you believe he could drop Canelo? I said,
it's a big
I believe that a punch that you can't see can drop anybody. And he throw punches from crazy angles you can't see. And he's strong.
Thank you. You just said something I want to touch on. I feel like Bud hits a lot of people with punches they don't see. That's kind of like when Holyfield fought John Ruiz. People say John Ruiz ain't necessarily the best boxer. And I kept saying, why is Holyfield struggling with somebody like John Ruiz? Holyfield done fought people like trilogies with Riddick Bowe. He done fought Mike Tyson twice. He done fought, Muhammad Kawi back in the day. So why is Evander Holyfield struggling with John Ruiz? And somebody who knows Holyfield told me, Holyfield said it was the punches I did not see.
Yeah, I mean, and you got to think, and that was one of the toughest. He was one of the toughest people. Holyfield tough as they come. Holyfield he didn't take punches from the best of them, but he probably seen them. And to me, Terrence Crawford, like you said, that it factor, a lot of advantages go to Terrence. They said what I said. Even him fighting southpaw, yes, the disadvantage is the right hand, but nobody likes southpaw, especially Canelo. I'm trying to think of the last southpaw Canelo even fought. Seemed like he avoided them too. Lara was a southpaw. He didn't like that. But to me, everybody keeps saying this is elite. I'm like, no, this is what I'm trying to tell y'all. This is one of, even though he's smaller, this is going to be a difficult opponent for Canelo too. Yes, he's fought a lot of people, but he actually lost to a lot of the people that was elite though. Let's just be real. He did lose. Like, he did lose to Floyd, a smaller man. He did lose to Bivol, a bigger man, but I'm saying, yes, he accomplished a lot of stuff, but out of those people, outside of Triple G, which I believe you lost the first fight. The second fight was close. Yeah, you won the third one. So, yes, you've been up there and comparing Triple G to Terrence Crawford is just stupid. I'm like, that don't even make sense. Triple G gonna be right there, and he got a chin, a brick chin. That's different. He just gonna outwork you.
Yeah.
But Crawford, I just wish we had an insight to know what version of Crawford are we getting. Which hand will he decide to fight him this time? Which stands will he fight in? Will he get greedy? I'm just so interested in it, and I'm just happy, man. I've been waiting for this fight since the day they said it was coming out, and the closer it get, the more it's starting. Because I'm out here in Vegas, it's starting to shape into a mega fight out here. Everybody out here, everything changing. Because in Vegas, it's not gonna be like Floyd, but when it's big fights out here that everybody want to get. Everybody eat. Everybody win. Everybody eat when that's why everybody love Floyd. They be like, Everybody eat when Floyd come. You know, the T-shirt people get to make their T-shirt money. It's a big deal. You know, it's big. It's like the Super Bowl. Is this as big as that? No, because Terrence Crawford ain't a superstar. He's just a great fighter.
Right.
Not a superstar.
Right. Yeah.
But I think because of the color thing, a lot of the brothers gonna stand up and come out. It's still something to do. It's still the best fight to be seen. And then it's gonna be a Spanish holiday, so that's gonna be huge out here. And like, cause I know a lot of people from Baltimore, Philly, Michigan, but everybody I know that's coming to that fight are really fight fans. They're really fight fans. They some people ain't even going to the fight. They just want to be in the atmosphere. Like, oh man, I come watch it at your house. I said, well, you know it's on Netflix. You can watch it on your phone.
Right.
And me, I personally love that in boxing because I don't know how old you are, but I come from ABC Worldwide Sports, where the best fights was on ABC and free. You know, before the HBO and all of this and pay-per-view. So I do believe now where boxing is at, I don't think pay-per-view is a good idea. I think that's gonna hurt boxing. I think y'all got to get people to pay attention to boxing and give us some fights we want, and start, you know, maybe pay fighters a little less and spend a little more money on promoting fights. Because I realize that's a lost art. They expect fighters to promote themselves. And a lot of these fighters are promoters. I'm like, why do they have a promoter if they got to sell themselves? What's the point of having a promoter?
Right.
You know,
right.
You don't really see commercials. You know, you only see commercials in certain places, but they're not spending the money to put commercials during shows that everybody watch. They're not paying for them slots to build up fights. You remember when you was young, man, the big fight, Floyd fighting on HBO. Damn commercials on Channel 8. CBS on everything because they paid for that. Like, you got to, you know, it's like now they kind of just throw the money to the fighter and expect them to be Floyd. Every fighter don't know how to market themselves and don't want to market themselves. Some fighters just want to fight. You get what I'm saying? Like, prime example, image is everything. I said, okay, Andre Ward, one of the best of his era, him right along with Floyd, but nobody put his name with Floyd's. Why? I said, because he was a humble man of God and a family man. He wasn't selling him. He was just selling his skills, and towards the end, he got his just due with a couple nice checks, Kovalev and stuff like that. I think that was that money that Jay-Z had for AB, and I don't know why he turned that down. So that money ended up going to Cotto. That money ended up going to Cotto and Andre Ward. And he made good on it. They said, how he made good? I said, what are you talking about? Cotto fought Canelo. What are you talking about? He won the fight and he fought Canelo. I said, oh, that fight enough was they made their money back. You know what I'm saying? Right there. So Canelo, and then you got to think, who else I say? Andre Ward took care of his business. So that's just a prime example of a person that he just was telling his truth. He wasn't willing to put chains on and get cars and stuff. He wanted to get his money, go home to his family. That's why it looks bad for Tank, because even though that might not be the case, it do look like as soon as people start demanding these fights that you wouldn't fight, you pull this. Because at first, nobody was demanding Shakur. Shakur is just talking, but after his last performance, they like, no, we need this. And then the Roach thing, in my opinion, how do I see that fight if it to win again? I said, I see it the same. They said, why? I said, Tank will never beat a fighter like him throwing 20 punches around, because he know what Tank gonna do because he's too familiar with him. If Tank would have threw 10 more punches that round, he beats Lamar Roach. 10 more punches he round. 10 more. And that's why I said Shakur beat him. I said what I said, because Tank, he's a great fighter, but y'all got to really pay attention. Tank sets up traps. If you don't fall for his traps, he won't beat you. Tank and Canelo Alvarez are the same fighter, man. They're the same fighter. You got to react to their actions. That's why I said Terrence Crawford can beat him. I'm like, listen, he's going to do the same. I like Tank, but Tank don't got no tricks up his sleeves. You know what he gonna do. You gonna win a couple rounds, you gonna slip up, and then he gonna start stepping. That's Tank every fight. Just like Canelo. Canelo just
like
do a reverse. Canelo start stalking you, and then he try to strike the kill. But Canelo usually is losing rounds. They like what I'm like, they're fighters that they're difficult to beat, but if you study, they're not that difficult to beat. Because you gotta react to them or catch them before they do it. You can't really take over. Tank wants you to come for him. He wants you to make a mistake. That's all Canelo wants you to do. He want to throw that shit for you to try to make a mistake and then pow, he catch you. I don't think Bud is that slow. I don't think he that stupid. They say, why? I said, y'all see how seasoned, what's the name is, right? Shakur, right? They said, yeah. I said, do you know the dynamic looks and stuff he getting sparring with a dude, even if he's small? That's a lot of education he getting. And you got to think, he giving Shakur tips. So that man know how to fight and he know how to box. And when you got them two combinations, which is rare, you rarely find somebody who can fight and box. I just hope, like your cousin said, I just hope he do both. I want him to do both because he could just outbox him and use his feet, but they might take the fight from him if he do that. Mm-hmm. So he gotta kick his ass, man. He gotta kick his ass. They like, why? I'm like, and if he beat him in a fight, what I see happening is they gonna make it a draw. They're like, why? I'm like, Canelo done told y'all he not fighting David Benavidez. What's his options? If he's not gonna fight Benavidez, what is his options?
Right.
Who you gonna fight? Ain't nobody at 168. Who you gonna fight?
You're gonna fight these guys we never really heard of, and you're gonna be like, who this guy?
Yeah, so in my opinion, they make it a close fight or something, or they rob. I hate to say it, they rob. I mean, but like you said, it is Turkey, it's all on him. Shit, they could rob Canelo for all we know. And they like what I said. I don't see Canelo beating him in a 12-round fight. I don't see that. If he beat him, it gotta be by stoppage. Because I don't think he's busy enough. I think he's too telegraphic for Crawford. Yeah, I just don't see it. I mean, possibly if he get a couple knockdowns or something. Because I could see Crawford getting knocked down, but I don't think a knockdown would knock him out. I could see him possibly getting knocked down, possibly. But Mean Machine rocked him. Gamboa rocked him. But I told people, I said, yeah, them dudes fast as hell. He didn't even see that shit coming. They fast. He didn't see it.
Yeah.
He didn't see it coming, and he was the bigger man. So he didn't expect it. Everything he knows, if I know it and you know it, you know damn well Bo Mack and him know it. Man, this dude is gonna try to tear my head off with every punch. Because that's how he's trying to intimidate you. Right. Off in swing this. You see how Charlo was fighting for a minute. As soon as Charlo felt that power. So if we see him catch one, boom, and we see Terrence do this thing he do, right. Like, oh yeah, we gotta fight here. We gotta fight here. Because Terrence want to feel what he got. Mm-hmm. And absolutely. I'm sure he want to feel what Terrence got too. But I think where he's going to be sadly mistaken is if you said Kirkland was the hardest you got hit, I think Terrence might hit hardest to Kirkland.
And then and I was thinking about the fight too, that I knew that Bud had that in him too, is the way he made. Because a lot of people kind of struggle with the style and the aggression of Sean Porter. He's kind of hard to nail down because he's moving so much. He's rushing in. But he knew how to time him. He knew how to counterpunch him. And
figured him out.
He figured him out.
He downloaded information now.
One time.
And everybody's comparing that. They like, yeah, but he be losing rounds. I'm like, yes, but y'all got to understand, all of these fighters y'all talking about, they're very active in what's name? Canelo is not a person that throws 40, 50 punches around.
Mm-hmm.
He do his stalking, and he gonna throw that left hand and right hook. He gonna throw that left hook and right here. You know, he'll throw an uppercut sometimes, but most of the time, he throws the same punches. He gonna do his little hand movement, which really don't mean nothing when you sitting there stepping to somebody, because he gonna be stepping. Now, so it's gonna be little points of that fight to let us know, oh shit, because if he start off stepping, and then we see him anytime in that fight get the movement, know what that mean? You felt that shit, didn't you? You felt it, didn't you? You felt it. They said, what I said, oh, Canelo done bagged up. Haven't you seen him bag up and play the Matador? Because that shit hot. That's why it's hot. Hot is hot. Do not in your head think. Because Terrence Crawford is a different type of strong. Because I met people who sparred him, and some people that fought him, they was like, no, man, he got like a thudding power within his punches. And they come from such angles and preciseness that he can really drop anybody if he catch you. And he's gonna, you see what he told him? He said, yeah, you gonna see, he said, you gonna see when I go across that head. You got a big head too. He said, you got a big head too, which everybody laughed. And I was like, no, you do know real boxers this precise. They like big heads, man, for real. Why you think Floyd defense is so good? Look how little his head is. Floyd's head this damn little. You can't even hit that little mug. You got a big head. Somebody gonna catch you with that
head. Right, for sure, man.
I know my phone getting low again, though, bro.
Man, it's all good, man. We chopping it up, and I just want to say a few more things because I know I got to go in a little bit. But look, before we leave right here, because we had a good segment, so shout outs to everybody. Hit them thumbs up, y'all. And I hope that we link up again. And next time, I want to focus more on the career of Floyd. But this time, I knew going into Floyd, it gets so deep that we'll save it for a later day.
Yeah,
you know. But I appreciate the time, man. Shout outs to Cam J, Des Scooby, Zoe Pound for sure. My big cousin Zoe Pound, JC, my engineer tonight, and every night. So right before I go, can you let people know what different platforms they can follow you on, or anything you want to put out there,
my
man?
YouTube is the Mayweather POV channel. I'm finna get that going.
Okay.
Facebook, Mayweather, Lamont Stacy. Instagram, Mayweather Apparel LLC.
Okay.
You know, I sell apparel, do a little music, do my Vegas thing, and I love the sport of boxing. I'm gonna be back on here for sure. Hopefully, you come on mine when I get it going. But I come on here anytime, man. Do one thing.
For sure.
I mean, next time I'm gonna just let you talk more. But bro, I love talking boxing, man. Like I could talk about boxing forever. I was born in it. I love it. I love the sport, and not only do I love it,
I think it might have been froze up. Okay. You were saying Des Scobie, Bud danced around Victor Postal. I'm gonna go watch that fight tonight before I go to bed. I'm gonna watch that Bud versus Postal. I gotta, because everybody talks about that specific fight and Bud talks about that fight. So I'm gonna definitely go run that one back. Hey, I appreciate it. What's going on, Des Scobie? Unfortunately, no, because I got to get ready to go. I pushed through the show, but I wasn't feeling too good tonight. But I wanted to make sure I kept my schedule going tonight, and I already had it set up or whatever. But I'm not going to drop the link tonight because I got to get ready to go. Wasn't feeling too good. But next time when I do the recap, I'll be dropping the link or whatever. So yeah, so pretty much y'all know what's going on with Ringwalk Boxing Podcast. Be here again next week at 6 p.m. to recap the Bud versus Canelo, the aftermath. And also in the description area here on YouTube, we have the link tree on FB and all the other platforms, the clothing line. And also before I go off of here, we got the In Your Face magazine. Shout outs to Trill and Kev McFly. And they're partner up in Cleveland, Ohio to help put this together. So we in your face as well. So everyone have a good, blessed night, and I'll see you next week. And I will catch you on the next round. Peace.